Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Thursday afternoon, October 5th. We are looking at Window Trader's market profile of the ES and the NQ. So another nice, typical V-shaped recovery as the bears give it up. The more important thing is nothing's changed. We have an inside day 2 days in a row here in ES. Look at that. Inside. Yesterday was inside of Tuesday, today is inside of Wednesday. So the market is getting ready to make a move here. NQ came out of an inside day to the downside twice, only to have an absolute failure. And E's low is such a telltale sign of that. And I told the room to watch for that. If it doesn't come back below there, maybe that's all these sellers have. Now again, I made the majority. I left early today at 2:15. I had a really good day. And the majority of it was made from the short side, even when the market rallied at some key visual points. But again, this is just a case of the market getting too short, comes back up, weak traders, they walk away. We took out both sides of the IB, but we couldn't get the overnight high. I'm surprised. I thought, I wasn't here when it happened. I figured if we got both sides of the IB, it would be a layup to get both sides of the IB, the overnight. But we did not. So still only 20.4% of the time do we get both overnights. But now both IBs is 31.9%. We failed at a trend day down again today. So that's 33.7% of trend days hold down. Look, this market is short, right? We have the non-farm payroll number out tomorrow. Now, just like yesterday, I told you, just because the market rallied, everybody's going to be bullish again. Nothing changes until we come out of this, right? And that's just the shorter time frame. Yes, it's balanced, but we have to come out of it to the upside, right? If we come out of it to the downside, we're right back to down on the daily. But the daily for me is firmly balanced with 2 inside days in a row. Righty does the same as we do. They take out the IB low and the IB high. They have nothing to lean on, nothing, zero, zilch. No pullback, no wide POC. They did, however, take out yesterday's high, which finally officially puts them back in balance on the daily. So we're going into non-farm payroll with all three of our indices in balance on the daily. NQ, again, all they end up with is a pullback. NH is low also. I never thought J-Row from yesterday would be that important. Now, we did take it out 3 times, but look at F and H. Got right back down to that value low, and then we held it. Now, we are almost unchanged value, but we're not. We ended overlapping a lower by literally a couple of points, because look at this. Value high is the same as yesterday's value high. So we are going on close to a month where we have not had unchanged value. It's really interesting. I thought today, I told the room as I getting ready to leave, I thought once we took back the trend day, we would trade between value high and maybe push back towards value low. Well, obviously that didn't happen. Now, we did barely take out the day's high, but we did take it out. We spent the last 2 hours of the trading day basically back and forth through the opening. I made 24 points in ES today. I made 128 in NQ. It was all from the short side. In A period, I shorted NQ to get the overnight low. Okay? Then in B period, I shorted ES to get the overnight low. Right? Because NQ got theirs first. Both of those were really nice. Then in C period, I started shorting NQ because they had single prints right away. We did not. ES did not go trend right away in C. Okay? So I shorted NQ, made another 17 points there. Then in E period, in C period, I did short NQ, ES with the single prints, with the ebb and flow trade, pushes up. And then again, in D period, same thing with NQ. The market was telling me in A, B, C, and D to be short. And it paid very handsomely. Now things started changing in E period when we stopped the one-time framing. I was very patient. I didn't do anything in E. I didn't do anything in F. I had my lunch. But I can tell you no, actually I did take it in F period. When NQ came up and filled the last set of single prints, took a short and made 31 points off it when it backed off. So, and then again, now the one long I did take was an H period in NQ because they had then raised their POC from D's eye to E's eye. I'm like, that's a nuance. So I made 10 points on a long, and I had another golden opportunity to do it, and I didn't, which really, I totally missed that one on a long in H again in NQ. And then right before I left, I shorted I period in both NQ and ES, thinking they might hold value high at the time, afternoon rally high, made 9 points in NQ, 6 points in ES, and that was it. So, fantastic day. I mean, one day to go in the week, I'm thrilled. I'm up 316 points in NQ and 86 in ES. So I've been very fortunate this week. As far as our destinations, now another thing, our volume was light today. Now again, that's not a surprise with another inside day, but even yesterday's inside day was average volume. So is the selling drying up? Well, we're going to look at the charts in a minute and tell you what I think, right, what we could look at. Our upside destination is today's high at 425.37. Our downside is the afternoon pullback at 421.87 and today's low of 421.17. Now we have 3 daily lows within $1 of each other. Okay? It doesn't mean they're going to get taken out tomorrow, but they're going to get taken out at some point. So that could get interesting. On the NQ, I keep saying that. In ES, 64.75 is our afternoon pullback, 58 is our low. And again, ES still within 7 handles of each other, those 3 daily lows. And the upside is 4,300.75. Now, what I don't want to see tomorrow, because we don't want to see I like to use the word, the steam taken out of the trade. I don't want to see a big gap out of these double inside days, either up or down. If that happens, it's going to take a lot of the steam out of the market. And that's quite possible we could see that because the number comes out at 8:30. I hope it doesn't, but we have to be prepared for it. Now, just like today, inside day down failed an NQ, you go with it and you monitor for continuation or lack of. Remember, look at this now. I'll show you the charts. Remember, on the weekly, we had a double inside week 3 weeks ago. Look at when we came out of it, the force. Now, that's a weekly, so that's more powerful than a daily. But right now, what am I looking at on the weekly? We've been talking about this. I don't think we get any real firm resolution to if this market has a chance to test this year's highs until we come out of this. So for me, we need to take out either last week's high tomorrow or this week's high next week. But more importantly, right, if say we don't go any higher this week, we still need to get this week's high to get back above and get back into this upper balance. That's my feeling on that. And if you're a bear, well then obviously you don't want to get above there and you want to take this low out because this low barely got into this one. And if you take it out, now you're still one time framing down and maybe you start getting acceptance into the lower distribution. So the weekly is still at a key level, a $9, $10 range, battling back and forth through it to see for the bigger picture if we have a chance to make new highs on the year or that game is over and we get sucked back down to maybe around the 4,000 level. That's how I'm looking at the weekly for now. Now look at the daily. Nice candle, but does it mean anything? Not really. It's balance. Right now, it's a 3-day balance. Nothing has changed. Okay? I just don't want to see a gap tomorrow up at 430. You get that takes, a $5 gap, and oh boy, man, that just took the steam out of the long, out of the double inside day. Same thing on the downside. If we have a gap below these 3 days, if it's a big gap, it's going to take the steam out of the trade possibly. So Selfishly, I'd love to see us open up inside of today's range, but I don't think that's going to happen. Again, I think this market can have an interesting fourth quarter, and I think depending on where the weekly starts setting up, once we get out of that range, will give us a much clearer indication. Look at triple Qs on the daily. Triple Qs, like I said, they never came out of balance for me. Okay, I was using Wednesday's low of September 27th. You can almost treat today as a double inside day. We did not take out yesterday's low by a lot. In fact, in triple Qs, we took it out by 16 cents. So for all intents and purposes, both ES and NQ have double inside days. We're going to get an explosion one way or the other tomorrow. I hope so. I just hope it doesn't come on a large gap. Anyway, I hope you had a good day trading. Thanks for the likes and subscribing to this YouTube channel. Enjoy your evening. And we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.